public transit is usually seen as the big buses traveling up and down major roads, stopping where at specific stops. But there are new and different ways that public transit can be operated, and the Smart has launched one of these new services called Smart Flex. So that's why we're here today on our Tapping into Transit series with Robert Cramer, who is the Deputy General Manager of SMART, the Suburban Regional Bus Service, and Tess Gebretensai, the Community Engagement Principal for Via. I apologize if I mispronounced there, but I really appreciate both of you coming on today. So to get things started, Robert, can you tell us what is this Smart Flex program and what are some of the key features that makes it different from a regular fixed route bus?
Well, when you put it that way, this Smart Flex program makes it sound kind of mystical, but really it's pretty simple to understand. It has a lot of the great characteristics of kind of your favorite rideshare service, with a lot of the other benefits of public transportation and a reputable transit provider agency and connections to the rest of our services in our network. So basically, this Smart Flex service, it's an on-demand service. It's something that is referred to oftentimes as microtransit. And the micro, I like to say, in microtransit is that they're very short trips. So this is not a service that you're going to use to take from Mount Clemens to Livonia, or from Pontiac to Metro Airport. This is something you're going to use to take just a couple of miles, either to connect to a local destination, maybe from your home or your office to the grocery store or the pharmacy, or if you're going to go farther afield. All three of the zones we have, which we'll talk about a little bit later, all three of them are centered around, each one of us centered around one of our fast routes. And so you've got a built-in connections not only into the rest of our fixed route network, but you've got a built-in connection to fast that can get you really anywhere in the region with a connecting trip. And so what makes it really new and different from the other services that we have is it's really intended to expand the convenient service area of our fixed route network in a way that can help people not only get around the zones more effectively, but also to connect to the routes we have that are really good, like fast and some of our crosstown routes that then can get them farther afield. So we're really excited to launch it and to see it succeed, and really glad we could come on today to talk about it.
Excellent, excellent. So Tess, your company Via has run services like this all over the world, actually. Can you give us some examples of where services like SmartFlex have succeeded? What do they look like in other places?
Yes, absolutely. One of the services that comes to mind is our service in the St. Louis region called Via Metro STL. The service launched in June of 2020. It serves South St. Louis County and North St. Louis County. The service, similar to SmartFlex, was created to help easily and efficiently connect riders to transit hubs. And the use case has proven to be a hit with riders, with about 70% of these trips beginning or ending at St. Louis Metro link stations. So since its inception, we've been able to expand the service in North St. Louis County, with more expansions expected to happen in the South St. Louis region as well. And another one I can think of is our UTA On Demand. It's a partnership with the Utah Transit Authority in Salt Lake County. Similar to SmartFlex and Metro's FTL, UTA had a desire for a flexible transit solution with increasingly congested suburbs and connecting to UTA's fixed route network. So in this service, the top 5 requested pickup and drop-off locations are actually the transit hubs. And it serves as a really great first mile and last mile solution. So both of these services have quickly become fixtures within the transit networks for their residents.
Excellent, excellent. Those are some great examples, and I know you guys have done these in a lot of different places. So a great partnership for Smart that knows their region inside and out, and you guys who have this great service. So Robert, I know you're not able to provide this service everywhere at this point in time. So where is the Smart Flex service available, and why did you pick those specific areas?
Sure. So, Smart went through an operations analysis, an analysis of our fixed route network over the last couple of years. It was called the Smart Path Plan. And we had a lot of great public involvement and input, a lot of technical analysis. And that's really where the idea of using microtransit to complement our fixed route network was originally born. And as part of that project, we also, with our vendor, included some simulation of areas that we thought microtransit might succeed. So we went through that process of really picking some areas that we wanted to have some different test cases. So there are some similarities across the three zones, but there's also some significant differences. And what that allows us to do is to learn more about some of the use cases that work and don't work for this type of service, kind of all at the same time. So we completed that analysis, we did the simulations, and got some pretty good data that supported the idea that each of these zones we've picked really have the best chance at having the density and the destinations and the connections to fixed route that would support a successful service. And so, as you can see here on the screen, the three different zones, we got one in each of our three counties, of course, trying to balance things out. And as I mentioned, each one touches one of our fast routes. So the Hall Road zone obviously connects with the Gratiot Fast, Troy with Woodward, and Dearborn with Michigan Fast. But the three areas, in no particular order, first of all is the Dearborn zone. So this is generally, it's the most of the city limits of Dearborn, and some of the surrounding areas includes, Fairlane Green and Allen Park, parts of Allen Park to the south. And this is really an interesting zone because Michigan Fast goes right through the middle. It's got the train station that's there. It's got two different downtowns. Obviously, for Dearborn, it has two downtowns. It's got, major university, college. It's got the mall, tons of office development, the Ford headquarters, the Henry Ford. I mean, it has a ton of different, very unique areas and some really walkable. Dearborn is a very walkable city as far as its neighborhoods go. And it has Beaumont Oakwood Hospital. So that zone, all these zones kind of have a little bit of everything. But that zone in particular is one where you've got some very walkable areas. But we've had over the years a lot of discussion about the Fairlane, the area in between the different downtown Dearborns as being incredibly unwalkable. And the idea that you have a lot of service that goes to Fairlane Mall and to the Dingle Transit Center, for example, but those are basically islands. And for you to get from there to some of the other, to U of M Dearborn, for example, is, it's 3/4 a mile, 2 miles in some cases. That really is a difficult connection to make. So tons of good service can get you in the neighborhood, but then it's really difficult to get the rest of the way. And in planning, that's something we've called for a number of years now. It's the idea of the first mile, last mile. You can get a train or a bus that can get people, you can get 100 people or 50 people on a bus. You can get them 20 miles on a fast route very efficiently. But if they're going someplace outside of a 5-minute walk at either end, then all of a sudden that really efficient service is not so convenient and efficient anymore because they still have this, big hurdle to clear at either end. And so that's the Dearborn zone. The Troy zone has, the Big Beaver corridor. It's got Walsh College. Beaumont Royal Oak, their main campus is also part of the zone. Kind of, that's the little island that's off to the southwest there. So this is an area also has, unlike Dearborn, in the Troy zone, has a lot of light industrial areas that are notoriously unwalkable when it comes to, or difficult to access for employees who don't have a car that they can drive right into the parking lot. But also has, the Big Beaver corridor with tons of offices, 2 major malls, lots of hospitality, restaurant businesses, which are a lot of, out-of-town business travelers can use this service to get from hotels to the businesses in the area. But it can also help connect workers who might be coming in from outside of the zone, who we've heard over the years a lot of times, hey, yeah, the workers by Somerset have good 7-day service, but if they're working at some of those restaurants or hotels that are otherwise along the corridor, they really have a hard time being able to have some of those late night or weekend trips be there for to have reliable transportation for their jobs. And then the third zone is the Hall Road zone, which covers, I think it touches 8 different communities on Hall Road. And that's a corridor, again, it has a little bit of everything, but it's really difficult to serve with fixed route. So we're really excited to have the service that's there, that's able to provide a lot of the people who live in that area, but also people from Van Dyke and Gratiot are basically our 2 most productive routes in the whole system. Now people can connect from those into all of the destinations on Hall Road.
Yeah, those seem like both a great variety of different places for you guys to learn how the service works, while also providing a really important connections for people who want to be able to get around more conveniently. So actually, Tess, can you say a little bit, based on your experience, what types of riders do you foresee using a service like this? Who is this really especially for?
Yeah, I think Robert did a great job of also bringing that forth and talking about the different zones. But overall, we see riders using the service to connect to Metro Detroit's and SMART's broader transit network. So for those folks who are using the broader transit network and who want to use this as an option for a first mile, last mile, it really helps save time for these specific riders who are going around the zone in general. And in addition to transit users, we think SmartFlex can benefit all sorts of car-free or car-light individuals, really providing a convenient way to get from home to running errands, from grocery shopping to picking up prescriptions at the pharmacy or work. Anywhere within the zone to provide a more convenient option for them to get around. So the riders that we see using the service, I mean, it's open to all community members, but in terms of the use cases, those who use the broader transit network and those who are looking for a more convenient way to get in around their neighborhood within the zone.
Absolutely, yeah. I think you've tempted a lot of people's interest. So, Tess, if someone wants to ride SmartFlex, how do they do so?
Yeah, so there are a couple different ways. We have a really great convenient app. So SmartFlex, you can go to your App Store or Google Play Store and download the app to get started. In addition to that, we have a dedicated customer service team. They can help folks over the phone. And so I think the number is displayed here. You can give us a call to get started. We do is you can create an account, takes just a couple pieces of information, and then the agent over the phone will help you navigate using the service. And then we also have our website that you can go to learn more about the information, or to learn more about the service overall, and it'll point you into the right direction for SmartFlex. So we have a couple different ways that people can get connected to the service and start using it.
Nice. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And I really like that you've got not only the website where people can learn more and the app that can be very convenient for people who do live on their smartphones, but also a phone number to make sure that this is available for anyone, that this isn't only for people who have apps. And can and people can pay both through the DART app, or what ways can people use to pay for the service?
Yeah, so they can pay using a credit card, debit card, or prepaid card registered with us, and then also the DART Bus Pass as well.
Okay.
So a couple different options that they can pay for the service.
Yeah, good to have those different choices for different people.
Yeah.
Now, Robert, I know the question that's on a lot of people's mind is what's the plan from here? What's the plan for continuing the SmartFlex in the long term, either in these areas or expanding elsewhere? Where does it go from here?
Yeah, so this is it's a 2-year pilot project. It also has the option for a 3rd year, and we've got the flexibility built into the really excited about having Via as our partners, through that process. It was just a great experience, and so far, getting the project rolled out has been great. We have the flexibility that if we have funding available and if the demand's working, that we could add to some of the service or the zones along the way. But I think really what we're trying to learn is how these zones work, how this type of service works in those zones, and kind of how it interfaces with our fixed route and also with some of our on-demand or some of our paratransit services and community partners as well. And that will help us learn more about how it fits into the bigger picture of the different suite of services that SMART offers and supports. Then, assuming that it's successful, it just becomes a matter of how does the balance of funding work, and how do you make this service interface with some of the others? Is it a matter of, kind of maybe prioritizing some of the fixed routes that can be highest frequency, most productive, and using something like microtransit and other services to kind of bridge the gap in some of those areas that have the lower quality service? That's one way to go. Or is it just a matter of certain stops you have extra service at? So I think it's really a lot to be learned in the future.
Excellent. Well, I am certainly very excited to give it a try when I have a chance to be in those areas, and encourage everyone to check it out if you are traveling in those areas. So thank you so much, Robert Cramer, Deputy General Manager of SMART, Tess Gebretensai from the community manager, the Community Engagement Principal for Via. I want to thank both of you for your time and all of the work and thought and effort that's gone into this project. And I also want to take just a moment to thank TRU's members who make this Tapping into Transit video series possible. We try to explore key transit topics throughout our region in short 10 or 15 minute bite-sized videos, and our members who support TRU make it possible. So anyone who is not yet a member of TRU, please donate today to make this possible. So thank you so much to Robert and to Tess, and I certainly look forward to learning more and hearing how it goes into the future.
Thanks, Megan.
Thank you, Megan. Thanks for having us.